Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly and I am a career coach and educator, and I help people to feel good about their work lives. Today we're going to talk about a topic that I am very familiar with, and that is quitting your job. I just quit a full-time job a few weeks ago, and it brought up a lot of emotions and felt overwhelming at times. There are steps you need to take to quit your job and to feel good about it, and today we're going to talk about those steps. And stick around because one of these steps is often overlooked and can really have an impact on your future career opportunities. Let's dive in. Step 1, reflection. This step is all about introspection and looking inward before you make your decision. Ask yourself, why do I want to leave? Am I seeking a better work-life balance, higher pay, more meaningful work, or simply a change of environment? Before you decide to quit your current job, think about if there are ways that you can better your situation at your current workplace. For example, if you feel like you're not making enough money, asking for a raise, or if you are not really enjoying the kind of work that you're doing, seeing if there's any other responsibilities that your work could give you. If you've asked yourself these questions and you still want to move on from your job, then let's move on to step 2. Plan your next move. This step involves looking at the bigger picture and thinking about what the next step of yours looks like. Are you aiming for a similar role in a different company, or do you want to change careers entirely? This could be a great time to learn some new skills, expand your network, or even take a short break to realign your goals. You may already have another job lined up, or maybe you don't, and either way is fine just as long as you've thought about your long-term goals, and if you are going to be taking a period of time where you're not working, that you've thought about the finances and you're able to take this time without needing to worry about money too much. Step 3, prepare your resignation letter. Whenever you're going to quit any job, you should take the time to write a resignation letter. You can keep this letter short, courteous, and most importantly, clear. Really, all you need to include is gratitude for your time at your company, as well as your intended last day. You can include a brief description of why you're leaving if you want to. However, I would use caution with this and keep this section short, or not include it at all and only talk about this with your manager outside of the resignation letter. Writing and submitting a well-crafted resignation letter is a really great idea if you don't want to burn bridges with this employer. Step 4, schedule a meeting with your manager. This conversation deserves a face-to-face approach, or at least a video call if you're in a remote situation. Be sure to prepare your talking points, including why you're leaving, what you valued about your time at the company, and how you plan to ease the transition. Now, you might be super nervous to have this conversation with your manager, and believe me, I get it. I was super nervous when I had this conversation with my boss a few weeks ago, and I'm not sure if there's really anything you can do to ease this feeling. Maybe try some meditations or calming practices beforehand, but what I can tell you is that it does feel a lot better after you're done. Keep in mind that your manager may ask for more details as far as exactly why you're leaving, or if there's anything they could have done to keep you around longer, and it's kind of up to you to decide how much you want to share at that point. Step 5, follow your employer's lead. Your employer may be okay with you telling your coworkers or your clients or anyone else you work with that you're leaving, but they may want to handle those conversations on their own. Find out how they'd like to handle sharing the news and follow their lead. It may burn some bridges if you tell too many people too soon, but do what you feel is right for yourself. These final days and weeks are your opportunity to leave a good impression. Offer to train your replacement, create a comprehensive handoff document, and tie up any loose ends. How you manage this phase can significantly influence your colleagues' and superiors' lasting impression of you. Okay, so those were the 5 steps to how to quit your job, and I want to leave you with a few additional tips as well. Tip number 1, if you have a new job already lined up, make sure that they are aware that you will need some time before you get started. Typically in the US, it's 2 weeks notice that you give your employer. So if you're starting a new job, you'll need at least 2 weeks, if not longer, before you can start that job. And in certain industries, it can be even longer, like into the month. So just know that 2 weeks is standard, but also look to see what's standard for your industry as well. Tip number 2, after everyone has found out that you're leaving at your job, message everyone that you've worked with closely and tell them that you enjoyed your experience working with them, if that's true, and then offer to connect on LinkedIn. It's really helpful to have these connections in the future, and you never know when you might need those. Tip number 3, avoid public venting. And I know that this is something that might be pretty tempting to do, to post a message on LinkedIn or your social media saying that you've just quit your job and how happy you are because this job was terrible for all these reasons, but that could really come back to hurt you in the future. So I would really strongly advise to not do this. If you want to vent, do it with the people who are close to you, your partner, your friends, in private. That's all I've got for you today. If you're now wondering what's next after you've quit your job and you have some questions about the career transition phase, then stay tuned for next week. We have a video all about this and I'm super excited about it. So if you want to get notified about that video or any other videos in the future, go ahead and subscribe, and I would love you to be a part of this community. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope to see you next time.